When was the last time you sat in silence and didn't reach for your phone? The average person will spend 9 years of their life scrolling through social media. 9 years. Not living. Watching. You opened your phone today, probably before you got out of bed, maybe before you even opened your eyes all the way. You weren't looking for anything specific. You never are. You were just scrolling. Someone's vacation, someone's opinion, someone's face, someone's dinner, someone else's life. And without realizing it, yours was passing. This isn't a lecture. This isn't someone telling you to delete your apps and go touch grass. This is something far more unsettling. This is the story of why we can't stop. Picture this. It's Sunday afternoon. The light is golden. The kind of light you only notice when the world is quiet. There's nowhere you need to be. No deadline. No alarm. Nothing owed to anyone. And instead of sitting in that silence, instead of feeling that rare, beautiful stillness, you reach for your phone. Not because someone called. Not because you're bored. Not even consciously. You just do it. The same way you breathe. And the scroll begins. 15 minutes pass. Then 30. Then an hour has disappeared into a feed that never ends, never resolves, never satisfies. You put the phone down. You pick it back up. You feel something. But it isn't happiness. It's closer to a hunger that eating never fixes. Sound familiar? This isn't weakness. This isn't laziness. This is engineering. The people who built these apps didn't just study technology. They studied you. And what they found should disturb you. In the 1950s, a neuroscientist named James Olds discovered something strange inside a rat's brain. He accidentally placed an electrode near a region called the nucleus accumbens, what we now call the brain's reward center. When the rat pressed a lever, it received a tiny jolt of electricity to that spot. The rat pressed the lever 10,000 times in a single hour. It forgot to eat. It forgot to sleep. It chose the lever over everything, over living. Now think about the last time you refreshed your feed. That pull to refresh gesture, that small, physical act of pulling down on your screen and releasing, was modeled after a slot machine. Intentionally, deliberately, by people who knew exactly what they were doing. Every time you refresh, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. Not because you found something good, just because you might. This is called variable reward, and it's the most powerful psychological hook ever discovered. It's the same mechanism behind gambling addiction, behind compulsive eating, behind every behavior that the brain finds impossible to stop. The uncertainty is the drug. If every post was great, you'd stop scrolling. If every post was terrible, you'd stop too. But the possibility, the chance that the next one might be the one that satisfies, that keeps you pulling the lever, 10,000 times an hour, and you thought you were just procrastinating. But here's what they never tell you. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical. It's the wanting chemical. And there's a terrifying difference. Dopamine doesn't make you feel good. Dopamine makes you want. It drives you toward things, forward, always forward, with a promise of satisfaction that it almost never delivers. So the scroll continues, not because it's giving you something, but because your brain is convinced the next thing will. Let's make this real. Think about the last time you were at dinner with someone you love. The conversation hit a brief pause, the natural kind, the comfortable kind, and your hand moved to your phone before you even made the choice. Not because you needed it, because the silence felt like something that needed to be filled. Now think about this. That silence? That was intimacy. That was presence. That was the relationship happening in real time, and you fled it. Or imagine this. You're lying in bed at night. Tomorrow is heavy. Maybe you're anxious about something you can't quite name. Maybe life has felt slightly wrong for weeks, but you can't identify why. So you scroll for 40 minutes, maybe more. Not toward anything, just away from yourself. By the time you finally put the phone down, you're more tired, more anxious, more hollow than when you started. But you'll do it again tomorrow night, because the phone didn't cause the discomfort. The discomfort was already there. The phone just gave you somewhere to put your eyes while you avoided feeling it. There's a psychologist named Sherry Turkle who spent years studying our relationship with technology. She called it being alone together. We are surrounded by people, in cafes, in living rooms, at dinner tables. And we are more alone than we have ever been. Because presence, real, deep, human presence, requires something the phone never demands of us. It requires us to be uncomfortable, to not know what to say next, to feel awkward, to sit with someone in their pain without immediately fixing it, to exist in the messy, unedited, unfiltered reality of another human life. The phone removes all of that. It gives us a perfectly curated world where we can observe life without having to participate in it. We became the audience of our own existence. And the cruelest trick of all, the more we watch other people live, the less alive we feel. And the less alive we feel, the more we watch. Here's the question no one is asking. Why? Not how does the algorithm work? Not what does the research say? Why do we choose this? Because make no mistake, on some level, we are choosing. And the answer lives in a place most people never look. We scroll because our lives are asking something of us that we don't know how to give. We scroll when a relationship needs a difficult conversation, when a dream needs to be started, when grief needs to be felt, when silence needs to be sat in. The phone is not the enemy. The phone is the symptom. The real story is what we're running from. Psychologist Carl Jung said something that cuts to the bone. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The scroll is anything. It is perfectly designed, infinitely available, socially acceptable anything. It is the most elegant escape mechanism ever created, because it doesn't feel like escape. It feels like connection. It feels like information. It feels like rest. But here's what you know. Somewhere beneath the notifications and the noise, you have never finished a long scroll feeling more like yourself. You have never put the phone down after an hour of reels and thought, yes, that was the life I wanted. You always feel the same thing, a strange kind of emptiness, like you missed something, like time moved without you inside it. That feeling is data. That is your life, reporting back. There's a concept in existential psychology called presence, not mindfulness in the commercial, app-based sense, real presence, the felt sense of being here, of having a body, of being inside a moment that is happening only once. Philosophers have written about it for centuries, but we only started losing it about 15 years ago, because 15 years ago, the alternative became available. The alternative to now was always just another now, a harder one, a boring one, a painful one, a confusing one. But you had to be in it. Now the alternative to now is infinite, and the human brain, which evolved for survival, not for wisdom, will almost always choose the path of least resistance. The question isn't whether you're weak. The question is whether you're awake. Because here's the most frightening thing I can tell you. A life half-lived still ends, and the scroll will not be there to mourn it. I want you to try something. Not a detox, not a challenge, not a 30-day plan. Just this. The next time you reach for your phone out of habit, out of that automatic, barely conscious reflex, pause. Not to deny yourself, not to feel guilty, just to ask one question. What am I moving away from right now? Maybe it's boredom. Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe it's a creative idea that scares you. Maybe it's a feeling you've been outrunning for months. Whatever it is, it's alive. And it is waiting. Because here's the truth that the feed will never tell you. Your life is not in there. Your life is the pause between the notifications. It's the face of the person sitting across from you. It's the idea you haven't written down yet. It's the grief you haven't finished feeling. It's the walk you keep saying you'll take tomorrow. It's the moment. This one, right now, that will never come back. The screen offers a facsimile of living, a highlight reel of other people's courage, other people's love, other people's adventures. But you cannot watch your way into a life. You have to show up for it, even when it's uncomfortable, especially then. Because the most dangerous thing about the scroll isn't what it takes from you. It's what it makes you forget is possible. Put the phone down. Not forever. Just long enough to remember what silence sounds like. Long enough to notice that your life, your actual life, is still here, still waiting, still worth showing up for. Final, powerful line. One day, you will look back on all the hours you were alive. Make sure you were actually there for some of them.